Alright, you're on? Cool. Cool, I'll wait. So you guys might think that you're all here for a wedding, but in reality it's a big, elaborately planned publicity stunt to get you to start following Jared's fledgling Twitter feed. Currently he has 7 followers, including Lindsay and his mom. But he hopes to double that number at least after tonight. I mean, did you know that Anna Paquin may be bisexual? Or that Uzbekistan is running a 50% off sale mail order brides? You would know all this and so much more if you joined the Billy Tweet. I'll tweet, man. I'll tweet.
Good evening, ladies. We all know that Jared has long-held fantasies of living life like the movies. So after watching the Academy Awards, he decided to have 2 best men instead of 1. My name is Jason, and I am an ugly version of Alec Baldwin. And this is Brad, an even nerdier version of Steve Martin. We are each half honored to be here.
So sharing these best men responsibilities led to a lot of questions. And we've each known Jared for a long time, so we had a lot of stories to tell. So we asked him how long this speech should be. He told us to speak as long as we want. A few minutes later, we asked Lindsay. She said, weddings are long enough already. You have 4 minutes and 44 seconds. We've been to their apartment, and we've seen the pictures of Lindsay's family and friends all over the walls. So we knew who to listen to, and we have 190 seconds left.
Jared really came into his own in his summers at Pine Forest Camp. He started as a nice young mensch. The guys wanted him on their basketball team. He became Pine Forest Camp's round mound of rebound. Girls thought he was super cute. It was too bad he was as bad at talking to girls as he was at parallel parking. Him and the late, great Ray Charles are tied for the state of Pennsylvania's record for most failed attempts at the driver's seat. But after thousands of push-ups and the realization that he had the best hair at an all-Jewish summer camp, I mean, Full House Jesse Katsopoulos, Jared blossomed into the lunatic that we know and love today.
Because at camp, his idiosyncrasies were allowed to blossom. When the movie game gained in popularity, he had Bobby Milgram send him to Insider movie business magazines, and he would study on his throne in the back left stall. He would blow everyone's minds with big players like Jurgen Prochnow, always a good pull after Harrison Ford led to Air Force One. And he made it so little fun for everyone else that the game had to die. He started the habit of keeping his peeling, sunburned skin in a Gatorade bottle on the shelf. He tested new phrases and jokes on 10-year-old campers, leading to chants like, "Millie's scary" and "I want my mommy." He finally started talking to girls, other than his sister, by the end of his camper career. And by the time he was a counselor with a few cans of courage from Barryville, our local bar, he was a regular Don Juan. We still think he's the only counselor to get with one of the hotties on the office staff, and seducing the only male secretary in the Pocono Mountains is no easy task.
I first thought of having Jared committed when we moved in together in freshman year of college. It had been several years since I lived with Jared at camp, and he came to college still dating his high school girlfriend, who, by the way, is here tonight and married to one of his groomsmen. That's neither here nor there. So I thought maybe he had calmed down and matured. I was wrong. His OCD was shocking. Whenever anyone sat on his bed, he would spray it with Lysol. A tactic he still employs today, although I hear that Lindsay gets pretty offended when he sprays it directly on him. During our time together, Jared and I rarely argued, largely because I was petrified that his psychosis would result in my untimely death. However, striving to take his shirt off at any opportunity, and to appear on an episode of Cops, Jared convinced me on several occasions to stage fights, which involved us screaming at one another and throwing laundry into the hallway. It was all in good fun until Jared didn't think we were convincing enough and lit my computer on fire and threw it into the hallway. It turned out okay, though. The building was evacuated. My computer was destroyed. But Jared convinced the State College Police Department that it was all just a bad accident.
That could be a lot of words to describe Jared. Alcoholic, carrier of H1N1, Dexter-esque serial killer. But if I had to pick one euphemism for cheap, it would be frugal. Living on his own for the first time in college, Jared started thinking about his finances. He would go to Subway for a sandwich, and ask for every single sauce, condiment, and meat to ensure that he was getting his money worth. As his roommate for a year, I will never forget that smell.
At the dining commons, he would gorge himself at the all-you-can-eat pancake bar, occasionally regurgitating at the cake, so that he, and not Penn State, and not Penn State Food Services got the better deal. But that's not to say he wasn't willing to pay his fair share. We used to drive back and forth from Penn State together. Tolls were $10, gas $30, snacks $15. $50, sort of expensive for a college kid. But you could always count on Jared to throw in at least $1 or $2.
And for all these quirks and odd behaviors, Jared has always been an incredibly kind and gentle person, except around his Reggie Jim and Jack. And truly is the best kind of friend. He never says a bad word about anything or anybody. He sees 100 movies every year and can find something redeeming about all of them. Even the one where bald Hugh Jackman drank this tree sap of life in a flying space bubble. He is loyal and thoughtful and always wants to include everyone no matter what's going on. But through all these years of knowing him, he was always so secretive about his love life. He was careful to make sure none of his friends got to know his girlfriends, so we wouldn't find out that his tough guy facade was really hiding a big romantic teddy bear.
But with Lindsay, we got a head start. Lindsay and I used to have lunch at Penn State before she began dating Jared. Lindsay was personable and fun, and I knew right away she would be a perfect match for Jared. Well, that's not true. It never even dawned on me that they would be a good couple. I was too intrigued by the fact that Lindsay could put so much food into such a little body that thinking about anything else while we were eating was virtually impossible.
And when you have a friend as unique as Jared, sometimes you wonder what kind of girl they'll end up with. And if, when it comes time for them to get married, they will still be the same crazy bastard that you were friends with before.
After Jared told us he was getting engaged, Cheryl told us that Jared was getting engaged, we were thrilled. Not because Jared found someone that put up with his insanity, but because he found someone that embraced it. She lets him write bizarre emails to their friends from her account. She listens to obscure bootlegs performed by half of the living members of the band on Sunday morning. And I even think I saw a Gatorade bottle full of skin on the windowsill. When Lindsay is around, Jared doesn't change, which is nice in a very scary sort of way.
And as we've gotten to know her, we learned that Lindsay has some of her own little quirks that seem to complement her perfectly. Like pork, for example. Lindsay will eat anything that has pork in it. And he even bases entire restaurant meals around it. I've been searching the salads tonight for the bacon bits. Coincidentally, Jared made pulled pork sandwiches at Camp Cheer that meant anything from I'm happy about this to there's pizza for lunch. Lindsay has a deep love of Bon Jovi. Jared tries to look like Richie Sambora. Lindsay helps people talk for a living. And Jared talks in circles and codes and dares you to make sense of it.
In all the years that we have known Jared, we have never seen him as excited and as happy as he has been in the days leading up to tonight. With that, we celebrate Jared and Lindsay, two great individuals who make an even better couple. Everyone, please raise your glasses. Mazel tov, l'chaim.